Just before 6 o'clock, I stood up from my desk and went down. Left leg is dead. Left arm is dead. And then I think I realized at that point it was a pretty serious situation. Well, I think we both will say that this has brought us so much closer to God. I mean, we all know that our weakness allows His strength, and this is the perfect opportunity for me to accept that more.
I'm originally from Paducah, Kentucky, and moved here. Moved to Newcastle first, met Tim, then moved here to work at Indiana Wesleyan, which I did for a couple of years, and then we had children. Moved back to Kentucky for 4 years, then came back here.
My name is Tana George. I was born in Bluffton and was there pretty much all of my life. And as Tana said, we were in Kentucky for 4 years in the western part of the state, and the rest of the time has been in Marion or Newcastle. We've been married since 1985. I've been working in radio for about 45 years, mostly full-time, but just couldn't pull myself away from it. And until the stroke came along in 2022, and I've been in the wheelchair since October of that year, and God has been working me back and hoping I can get to a full recovery. I had just gotten to the station about, 5:30 in the morning, and just before 6 o'clock, I stood up from my desk and went down. I thought, wait a minute. I'm not that old yet. I didn't trip over anything. Tried to stand back up. Left leg is dead. Left arm is dead. And then I think I realized at that point it was a pretty serious situation. I still felt pretty fluid. Fortunately, the only other person working at that time had gotten to work then and came through on his way to I don't know where, saw I was down, made the 911 call. And
the man that found him called me and said, Tim fell and I think he's had a stroke, and 911's already here, and at least, he still has his humor, so he's making some jokes or something, so that made me feel better, but I just got to the hospital as quick as I could. It was pretty scary, but I also feel like I was just on like autopilot. Well, seeing that helicopter take off, I took a picture of it just because it was such a weird feeling, and if I see that picture, it was just, I guess, just a scary feeling, but I think, still on autopilot, still thinking whatever happens we can handle with God's help. So I guess that was just mainly it, and just wanting to get up there as quickly as I could.
I just felt like I, had a long way to go. I mean, and God has taken me through that without question, but just had people, therapy, I felt, they put me in different devices. One of them, they said I look like Iron Man, you just put you in there and try to develop your ability to move, and just gradually, fingers moving, toes moving, legs moving. It's a little bit unnerving when I'm sitting in a shower with a physical therapist trying to show me what I need to do to help, and the physical therapist is not a man. And talk about uncomfortable, goodness gracious. Well, I want to have Tana tell you what the people there wrote down on their report when she said that she would take me home rather than consider an option of, putting me at a skilled care facility.
I had gotten this weeks later, but the doctor had written something to the effect that he was gravely disabled and that wife thinks she and sister can take care of him, kind of implying that she's crazy. We don't think that's going to happen, just the way it was written. So, but that was actually from the critical care or the ICU to the rehab hospital. So it made his legs move for him, and at first the machine was doing 95% of the work. He just couldn't move his legs himself, but then they try to rewire your brain, and so it did begin helping him again. The last 2 days, though, they trained me to be able to lift him out of the chair into the car and into the wheelchair and back and in the shower and back. So that was a feat also because weigh a lot less. He was over 200 pounds at that time, and so, but that, I think that was a God thing. But, and also the training, because they just tell you how to do it so you don't hurt yourselves.
Well, I think we both will say that this has brought us so much closer to God. I mean, we all know that our weakness allows His strength, and this is the perfect opportunity for me to accept that more because God has put, the church in my life more, the people at the church, people in the community. The outpouring has been unbelievable, and it's been so much easier to accept the gifts and the help and all this because of my situation. And I needed to learn that, and I'm glad that I have. God works miracles in your life all the time. I don't know why it took me so many years to realize that, but I look back on the heart attack, and there were so many things that happened that were not by chance. God puts people in your lives in situations, and it was meant to be that way. But I think that I finally realized that there are, miracles that I've just not taken the time to or recognize. Small things, a step here or there that's better, feeling better, developing, my muscles better, appreciating her more, for sure.
I feel like I've really just grown closer to God, and I just feel like my relationship, with God has really grown through this time. But I feel like God finally, has said all along, whatever happens, you can deal with. And with him regressing, that was one that was harder, but I really feel like God made that really clear that you can deal with it. And
this is just something that fighting through this has been obviously difficult, but I can't imagine fighting through it without having God. And I hope that people that are watching this know that, and if not, that it's time for them to get serious about it, because you just have to have God's help. He puts people in your life that really make a huge difference. And I mean, we have had untold numbers of people pray and visit and text and send notes and bring food and financial support and everything else, and it's just, I don't know, it's so humbling, it really is. And even though we don't have to deal with cancer, and hope that we never do, and so many of you are, my heart goes out to you. We all serve the same God and all need the same God to help us, and I pray that for you. I know it's really helped us connect more than we ever have.